Welcome back to the Timeline Rewatch, where we cover all the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, one-shots, TVs, and shorts. Today is our Season 2 wrap-up with the seasonally Timey Awards.
Yep.
As always, my name is Justin, here with my co-host Jacob. How are you doing?
Doing good. Excited to wrap up our second season. It feels like things
Already.
have flown by. So
Yeah, already we're
yeah.
about to start Season 3. If you're still following along with us, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, leave us a 5-star review, leave us a comment, and we'll read it on air. Hopefully it's a good one. I'm not reading bad comments, so don't waste your time on that one, but just leave us a good comment. You can follow us on social media at Timeline Rewatch. You can email us at timelinerewatch@gmail.com. Do all the things. If you think something differently, we'd love to hear your opinions on some of the stuff. So, as always, let's start with our movie rankings for Season 2 and kind of
Yes.
compare them with Season 1 even. So, let's start with, do you want to just start from the bottom and work our way up on what we thought was better?
Yeah,
Okay.
we could do that.
So, my worst movie in the movies that we covered in Season 2,
Okay.
Iron Man 3, Thor Dark World, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and Avengers Age of Ultron. As we mentioned last week, Ant-Man is part of Phase 2 of the MCU, but we're breaking this at the Avengers.
Yep.
So everything between the two Avengers movies. So my worst movie was Thor Dark World.
I agree.
God, it was so awful. And
Yeah.
I have it just above the Incredible Hulk, but after Thor. So in between the Incredible Hulk and Thor for me.
Yeah, I have it in between Incredible Hulk and Captain America: The First Avenger. So it's my second least favorite movie thus far.
So we're pretty even here.
We're even there.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is where I think we're going to be.
Yeah, this is where we get
vastly different.
Vastly different.
My second worst movie was Iron Man 3. This just didn't hold up for me with the third of the trilogy.
I disagree
It had
wholeheartedly.
It had a lot of good points to it. It was, but what did it do for the universe? In the grand scheme of things,
okay.
what did it do?
In the grand scheme of things in the
It
universe.
improved its technology?
Maybe. Nah, because he blew it all up at the end. But,
I mean, he still used the Centurion thing in
Yeah.
Age of Ultron,
yeah.
but he retired at the end of the movie, but then he went right back to it.
I thought it
Pepper
was...
got the extremist
yeah.
virus. That's gone. I guess Tony removes the shrapnel from his chest. I mean,
That's probably
I
the
don't
biggest
see why it's...
I just thought it was a great movie.
I mean...
You get to see this... The focus in that movie was on the human side of Tony, not Tony as Iron Man. And it's his struggles, and that movie builds to why he wants to get out of all of this.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess it's the height of his character arc.
right, because this is, from that point, he's like, I am phasing out. Like, I am trying to get out of all of this.
And then he's still there for
And then
another
he's
10 plus years.
still
So
there. Yeah.
he finally dies, but I don't think he's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your second? Oh, I have Iron Man 3 just above Thor. So currently it is my fourth worst movie.
Yeah, so I have
out of 13.
I have a large gap. Because I think a lot of these, what we're calling Phase 2, Season 2, I think they're a lot better than the first set
I
of movies.
agree. I just have my
Yeah.
there's a wide gap in between my two.
Yeah, so my, I guess, next least favorite Phase 2 movie was Avengers Age of Ultron, but I have that ranked as like sixth overall. So like I said, there's a large gap. I have it ranked above Captain America: First Avenger, Thor, The Avengers, Iron Man 2 even. I went back and forth between Captain Marvel and Avengers Age of Ultron. I think you could almost flip those depending on the day. But I liked Age of Ultron for what it was worth. I don't know. There's something about it that I found it interesting.
So I have Age of Ultron ranked number 9 on
Yeah.
my list, just above Iron Man 3.
Yep.
And just below Iron Man 2.
Yep.
So, what was your third?
Third was Guardians of the Galaxy, and I ranked that as my fourth favorite movie overall.
Oh.
Yep.
Interesting.
So that was above Iron Man
That was your favorite.
which was my favorite.
That was your
Yeah,
movie.
that was my movie.
Oh no.
So it's above Iron Man, and then
That just tells me what the top 3
I
are.
was gonna say it's below 3 Phase 2 movies, but yes,
Okay.
yes,
So my fourth, well, technically my third favorite movie. I'm not gonna say fourth worst movie out of 6.
right.
My third favorite movie in this season was Guardians of the Galaxy. I have it ranked as 4.
Yep.
So we're actually even on Guardians of the Galaxy. So and then actually for our third ranked movie, your third of the season, my second of the season was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yep.
So we have the Guardians ranked right there, dead even with each other.
Yeah.
And actually, our second best movies of the entire franchise, of the entire MCU, is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I know I said originally a long time ago that I didn't like The Winter Soldier. I was wrong, and I am willing to admit that I was wrong.
I really like this movie, and I will say Captain America gets a bad rap in his movies because it's never, outside of the first movie, it's never about Captain America from then on. Like, Captain America, The Winter Soldier is about the Winter Soldier.
The Avengers, The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and then Civil War is definitely not about him.
Well, I guess Captain America: The Winter Soldier wasn't the Avengers. It was S.H.I.E.L.D. The Winter Soldier.
It was S.H.I.E.L.D. The Winter Soldier. And then, Civil War is... He's
Avengers,
in it,
Civil War.
Yeah, it should have been Avengers movie. But they're not all together, so you can't call it an Avengers movie because they're not fighting together.
But that's what Civil War is taking the thing and splitting it apart. So it'd be the Avengers Civil War.
Right.
Going back at each other.
I don't know. But no, I thought that was a really good one. I like that. I like, well, obviously we know Winter Soldier is my favorite like superhero character, but outside of that, I thought it was a really good movie. A lot of spycraft, which I enjoyed.
Yeah. And then that was my top ranked movie of this season. Yeah. What was yours?
So it should come as no surprise. Iron Man 3 was my favorite movie. So we are way off on those.
We're always off on Iron Man and Captain America, I feel like.
I don't know.
It's biasy.
I thought it was, it may be. I mean, I enjoy the Iron Man movies. I just thought it was really well done. The point that it made about, like Tony outside of the suit and the actual stress of the job. Like, I get it, they're superheroes and they're supposed to be fantasized about, but like this movie really showed you like man, that is a tough job. Like, and nobody seems to think too much about the mental ramifications, the emotional ramifications of all that. And it's nothing that really needed to be done, but yet they did it. And I thought it was they did an excellent job with that. And the fact that he loses everything and then comes back and just blows it all up in the end. And like we talked about, that starts the fall of his character arc where he's like, all right, I'm trying to get out of all of this. Like, I want to have a family. I want to be with Pepper. I want to build my legacy, like post Iron Man. So yeah, for an ending trilogy, I thought it was good, but
that's
agree to disagree. Obviously.
All right, so before we get into the Phase Awards, we're going to talk about a couple of releases that were either recently announced or are coming up and have been announced for a while. Mm-hmm. First, Secret Invasion comes out June 21st on Disney+. That's going to be a TV series. I think it's 6 episodes or 5 episodes.
Something like that, yeah.
It's usually 6 episodes.
Yeah.
That's going to talk about the Skrulls and mostly focus on Nick Fury and Talos. Yep. The Skrull that we saw in Captain Marvel, and that's going to bring up a lot.
And I think it has Talos' daughter, too, that we saw in Captain Marvel.
Oh, yes, who is... I
can't think of her name.
Daenerys.
Yes.
Right? From Games of Thrones. Emily Clark.
Yes.
Or
yes.
Emily Clark.
Yes, something like that, yeah.
I really like her as an actress,
by
the way.
No, this looks like it's going to be really good. They have a new teaser out for it. I saw it on Twitter the other day, and it looks... really good. It's like the whole do you really believe that the person standing next to you is who they are and stuff like that, and it's very, very interesting stuff.
Yes. Oh, you're talking about the one the Marvel Studios put out.
Yeah, where it was
and somebody came out and was like, oh, we know there's a Skrull out there, and it talks about Rhodey being 2 different actors,
which is funny on face value, but if you dig into it, we've not seen yet that the Skrulls manipulate how people look.
Yeah.
Like, it's more so they just copy the appearance of somebody. But it's still funny to think about. Like, that's how that could get explained, is that, oh, he was a Skrull. So,
Yeah. The next TV series to come out is going to be Loki, season 2, October
yes.
6th. That's going to be cool. Another series. It's bringing back Owen Wilson as well as the TVA, as Morbius.
Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of cool, or kind of pretty cool. I'm excited for Loki
I
season
am
2.
super excited for that. This will be pretty interesting how they play with the Jonathan Majors Kang idea, because I think Kang was supposed to be in this in some regard.
Yeah.
So you're going to kind of get an idea of what Marvel's doing with Jonathan Majors. And obviously they've already filmed this if it's getting ready to release soon, so maybe they have to go back and doctor a couple things to smooth that over. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for Loki season 2.
So Loki season 2 comes out October 6th. I have to go to a wedding October 6th. It's a Friday. My anniversary is the 7th, and then I'm leaving the country on the 8th.
Well, they're gonna release them like probably one episode
once
a week.
Yeah,
so,
it's gonna be once a week.
Yeah, you're not gonna miss too much.
I'll be behind a couple days on episode 2, which will be the Marvels coming out November 10th. The next big motion picture movie in theaters, starring, of course, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and then
Monica
Rambeau, which her superhero name is. I can't remember.
I don't remember what her superhero name is, but yeah, we saw a trailer for that when we went and saw Guardians Volume 3, and it looked good.
Yeah.
It looked interesting.
Photon is her.
Oh, I've never heard her call that.
No. Well, in the comics, her.
Yeah, they might end up calling her that. I don't know. In the trailer, Nick Fury just called her Monica. So
it's probably gonna remain Monica unless she becomes a big bag superhero. Which, interesting. I don't know how much you keep up on Twitter and all the new stuff. You're reading the comic books right now.
Yes, I should mention. I'm going back and reading some of the comic books right now, just focused around the movies we're talking about. So I finished up the Age of Ultron series, which is why I did not bring it up in that episode at all, because it is vastly different than what the movie is for obvious reasons. But yeah, gonna try to go back through, and because I've never read the comics before.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I've kept up on some of the knowledge of what's coming up. One of the Captain Marvel comic that's coming out here very soon, they kill off Miss Marvel.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting.
Or so they say. Apparently in the comic book world, they kill people off and then they come back at some point.
Well, yeah. Different universe.
Sure.
That's what the multiverse is.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah. And then after that, later that month, actually 19 days later, right? 19? Did I do math right? Yeah, 19 days later, Echo comes out on to Disney Plus and is releasing the entire season of Echo.
Which I have mixed feelings about, but right now they're kind of framing it as if it's not as big as Loki and some of the other ones are that they've done episode by episode, and it's just like, all right, we're going to throw them all out at once. And I don't know if they're just trying something different or if they don't expect it to be a big hit. I don't know, but it's definitely not getting the same attention that some of these other ones are.
Well, I think it also has to do with the character hasn't been in other things. So if you look at all these other TV series, that character has been in these different movies and stuff.
True.
So why build up? Well, okay, never mind, because Miss Marvel wasn't in any of the other movies. Neither was She-Hulk.
Right,
but
and they got
their
own
series.
Yeah, I think it's got. I think a lot of these series were kind of delayed for a variety of reasons. So I think they're putting their attention into Loki, and then they're going to release Echo, because Loki will probably still be coming out as Echo gets released. So
yeah. Actually, I lied to you. I'm sorry. Echo was actually introduced in
in
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And it's also going to feature Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Yep. So, which he is going to either get, I think, a movie or a series coming up as well.
Yes, he is also getting a TV series.
It's like Daredevil
basically
Born Again
bringing back everybody, including Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk and the Kingpin. So.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for the Echo series. It was, like we talked about, it was from one of the, I don't know if it was I can't remember if it was a gang or what, but she was the deaf character. In the gang, and her brother I think was in the gang, and they kind of fought with Hawkeye and what's her name? Lady Hawkeye. I don't know. But yeah, she's getting her own spinoff because towards the end of that series, she kind of started to see the error of her ways and the path that it was leading her down. And I think in the comic book, she is related to Kingpin, and they might have even talked about that in Hawkeye. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, and then do with her character. Because I mean, Disney has this now mixed bag of Netflix-esque series of some of these Marvel characters that they can play with. So
Which I like the TV series. I didn't think I was going to at first, but
they're definitely not
doing something with
not
it.
a Disney thing, but there's room there for something.
Yeah.
So
After those, our next current release date is May 3rd, and that's Captain America: New World Order.
Oh yeah,
with Sam Wilson as Captain
it's
America.
Captain America. Yep.
But early 2023 still is supposed to be What If Season 2. So we'll see if that gets pushed back. With the writer's strike, there's a lot of things being pushed back recently. So
yeah.
We might not see that early 2023. I have not seen that it's going to get pushed back anymore, but Loki Season 2 is also supposed to come out this September, not in October. So
yeah, and I think
Echo is supposed to come out in October, not November.
Right. And I think the Ironheart series is on the come up.
Ironheart, I saw fall 2023. So
and she was in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So they could really take that, honestly, any direction they wanted.
They really
She didn't do much. Well, not that she didn't do much in Wakanda Forever, but they didn't really. She wasn't the focus, so they can kind of take that. Whichever avenue they want.
The only other big series that I saw that they're really pushing heavily on right now is Agatha: Covenant of Chaos.
Yes.
So that should be interesting. That's bringing a lot of the characters back from WandaVision.
Right.
And then, of course, you have X-Men 97, which, did you see they released Magneto's graphic?
I haven't seen that yet.
It looked pretty cool. That's going to be a cartoon, like What If, so that'll be interesting as well.
Yeah, I went back and just recently finished the X-Men 90, or no, not X-Men 97, but the X-Men cartoon series that this is going to continue off of because it's on Disney Plus as well, and it was very interesting. So, from what I've understood, X-Men 97 is just going to kind of carry out where that ended. So yeah, excited for that as well.
All right, and we are back with our Season 2 Timies Awards. So as always, we have 5 categories: Best Visual Effects, Best Soundtrack, Best Cinematography, Best Supporting Character, and Best Leading Character. So to start off with Best Visual Effects, we have 2 different, we both picked two things, or 2 movies. So Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers Age of Ultron are the 2 nominees. And Jacob, who did we select as the winner?
Yeah, so we went with Guardians of the Galaxy on this one, and it's hard to argue another movie, honestly, because again, this was one of the first movies in space, I guess, in a sense, that was focused solely on space.
Yeah.
And how you do the effects with the different alien races, with the different weapons that they have, with the different planets, atmospheres, what have you. And I thought Guardians 1 kicked that off. Guardians 2 just kind of doubled down on it, but by that point we had already seen anything. It's not like they did anything different.
It's not new.
So
it was literally back-to-back movies.
Yep. So that's why Guardians 1 took Best Visual Effects.
All right, and Best Soundtrack, we have Iron Man 3. Of course, you have to have another Iron Man movie in there. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes, it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It's hard to beat the Guardians movies when it comes to soundtracks.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for any of the other movies I have to compete with Guardians 3. I don't know if you've been listening to the Guardians 3 soundtrack, but
it's good.
Creep is one of my new favorite songs.
I love that. I love that song before it was in the movie, and then I was like, this is perfect. But no, I mean, up to this point, Iron Man did have the title for best soundtracks in movies, but then Guardians came along and just smashed it. So yeah.
All right, Best Cinematography. Our nominees were Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, so this one was tight as well, but I think you have to hand it to Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Just some of the camera work in that movie was phenomenal.
Spy movie.
And yes, it was incredible. And I think of the scene where immediately my mind goes to where the Winter Soldier attacks Nick Fury's SUV, and he just slowly moves out of the way as the SUV comes flying over, and then you get the shot of Nick Fury upside down, cutting the hole in the ground, and Yeah, those two I immediately think of, and just all the stunts in that movie as well, like the whole scene in the elevator with Captain America, that was incredible. Him jumping out of the elevator, and then at the end of the movie when they're taking down the all the ships and everything, it was just a very very well done movie.
Yeah. All right, best supporting character. We have Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon and Anthony Mackie as the Falcon.
Yeah, so this one's going to go to Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. And I will put an asterisk by this. This could be recency bias. We'll just
Could be recency
say that out
bias.
there. Because you find out in Guardians 3 that Peter Quill and Rocket Raccoon are very close and they play well with each other. But through both of the Guardian movies, I mean, he was arguably one of the funniest characters. Arguably one of the smartest characters.
We find out he's actually probably he's probably the smartest being
Yeah.
in the universe.
Yeah. And he's funny, and the thing is I felt like his character didn't try to do any more than he was responsible for doing, which that's what you do as a supporting character. Like, you're there to lift everything else up.
Yeah.
And Guardians 1 was kind of about bringing everybody together, and Bradley Cooper / Rocket Raccoon did that really well.
And best leading character, like season 1, Chris Evans as Steve Rogers or Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
Luckily for the fans, in Phase 3, we'll probably have to move off of these guys in some capacity. But we return to this debate again from Phase 1. But in Phase 2, we did go with Chris Evans. I felt like he put on a much better performance in The Winter Soldier than he had in the first Avenger. And then his work in Age of Ultron as well just kind of piggybacked off that. And you're starting to see that character arc that I appreciated with Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man, is that he had this thing, he was S.H.I.E.L.D., and then when S.H.I.E.L.D. falls, how does Cap respond to that when that's all he's known since he's came out of the ice? And then he comes back, rebuilds it, and you have Age of Ultron, and him kind of sticking to his guns in that. So it had to go to Chris Evans.
All right. I'm glad to hear once Jacob can say that Captain America is better than Iron Man.
No, I'm not. I'm not opposed to saying that. I'm gonna pick and choose the battles to fight, and this one
as he's wearing a Captain America t-shirt.
As I'm wearing a Captain America t-shirt, obviously.
Makes sense.
But no, but I will say it'll be refreshing once we get into Phase 3 and 4 and kind of get some new blood in some of these like leading character kind of roles. So.
The next phase is going to be quite interesting actually, because we've got Ant-Man, Captain America: Civil War, which we have already said Avengers: Civil War.
Yeah.
You got the 2 Team Thor one-shots. You got Black Widow, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big, massive season.
Lots of, and I feel like these awards will probably be the toughest in Phase 3 because they have so many characters, and you're getting like one-off movies with Black Widow, with Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man. Those are all their first movies. Well, first movies, period. And then Black Widow, first movie on her own.
Yeah.
And then you bring everybody back together in the end for Endgame and Infinity War. So, yeah, awards are going to be tight in that phase for sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, Phase 4.
Phase 4, we have no clue.
I don't even know how we're going to end that phase. I mean, we'll figure that part out. But
yeah.
In 2 weeks, we will start with Ant-Man. We're going to take next week off, take a little small break, and then we'll be right back into your podcast app and on YouTube with Ant-Man, followed by Captain America: Civil War, and all the movies we literally just mentioned. So, until then, have a good one.